Thank you.
Okay, looks like we're back up on YouTube now, so we're a lot closer than we were.
All right, you might just want to give people a second because I'm getting some emails from some people that are not seeing the
There's a
YouTube,
20
but I think they're.
Yeah, there's a 20-second delay between what you see and what YouTube sees.
YouTube's up.
Perfect.
Are we ready?
John, you are now the host.
Not yet. John, do you see breakout rooms for the ballot counters?
I do, but I don't know who to put there.
It would be myself, Kim Santan, Mary Mixon, Maud, Gillian, Nadia.
Hang on. Talking too fast.
Sorry.
You mean,
Say your name was Kim?
Kim, Mary Mixon, Nadia, Marie, and Ahmad.
Okay, just 4 people?
Yes.
All right.
And John, we have been asked to please check or try out the timer so we can see the screen or see the cards to make sure that everyone knows what the timer looks like.
And I'm going to ask the timer to do that right before the speeches. If you want to try it now, that's fine.
That's great.
Okay, but I'm going to ask you right before we start the speeches.
And for clarity, I changed the person that has a timer as just timer, and the gentleman that is a backup timer is timer number 2.
Perfect.
Okay. Say when.
Did you get my breakout room set up there, Curtis?
That's a John question. You're looking for Zoom Master John Grigsby.
Oh, John.
Yes,
Did you get my breakout room set up?
I will do that in process.
Okay. I don't need it till the end of the contest, so it's okay.
Right. Okay.
And please remind everyone to mute and put it on speaker view so that YouTube will be able to see the speakers.
As far as I know, Ed, and I believe we're good to start.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, dignitaries, and all of our wonderful guests who are joining us via YouTube. Welcome everyone to the District 63 Spring 2020 International Speech Contest. I'm Edna Varner, the contest master. Comedian Woody Allen said 80% of success is showing up. Well, if that's true, success, 100% of it is guaranteed tonight because you've all shown up. We also have 5 awesome speakers who have shown up for club contests, area contests, division contests, and their success is the reason they are here tonight participating in the International Speech Contest. And regardless of the results of this contest, they will leave here as successful speakers because, as our keynote speaker, Johnny Campbell, said earlier today, it's not just about winning a contest, it's about using the contest to get better and better as a communicator. We won't have to do all of the procedures we usually do on site. I don't have to tell you where the exit doors are because you're at home and you know where they are. I am going to ask you, especially if you're on the Zoom, to make sure your phone is muted and to make sure you stay muted until you are speaking so that we can help with the sound. In fact, do anything you need to do to minimize any distractions during the contestant speeches. This time, Madam Chief Judge, have all contest officials and contestants been briefed? And are we ready to proceed with the contest?
Madam Contest Master, all of the officials have been briefed. Let the contest begin.
Thank you. The International Speech Contest will consist of a series of timed 5 to 7 minute speeches that will be judged by a panel of judges. The winner will represent District 63 at the World Championship of Public Speaking scheduled for August. In order to allow our judges time to mark their judging forms, we will have 1 minute of silence after each contestant's speech, and we will have silence after the last contestant's speech until the ballots have been collected. I'll call on the timers in just a minute to give us the timing procedures, but first I want to talk to you about the contestants and the order. The speaking order for the contest was determined earlier using an electronic selection dial that was quite fascinating. All of us were able to watch it. And so this is the order of speakers. Speaker number 1 will be Dorie Nolan. Speaker number 1, Dorie Nolan. Speaker number 2, Kevin Giuliano. Speaker number 2, Kevin Giuliano. Speaker number 3, Dion Lewis. Speaker number 3, Dion Lewis. Speaker number 4, Tania Latham. Speaker number 4, Tania Latham. And speaker number 5, Darrell Pace. Speaker number 5, Darrell Pace. During the contest, I will introduce the speaker by name only and state the title of the speech. Then I will repeat the title of the speech and the contestant's name. At this time, I'll call on our timer to give us the timing procedures and to show us the timing signals.
Madam Contest Master, the green will show at 5 minutes. The yellow will show at 6 minutes. The red will show at 7 minutes, and the speaker has 30 seconds to finish their speech.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the contestants? Any questions from the contestants? Well, let the speeches begin. Our first speaker, Dorie Nolan. Fix me. Fix me. Dorie Nolan.
Ready. Imagine with me an old-fashioned toy store. As we walk in, you see new and used toys all along the shelves and tables, each one waiting for a good home. In the corner, we see the toy master working his magic at his workbench, repairing a broken toy. Listen, you can hear the tap, tap, tap of the toy master's hammer as he replaces a wheel on a broken train. The store bell chimes. In comes a little girl. Oh, but she looks sad. She runs to the toy master and, Mr. Toy Master, please fix my dolly. She's broken. The toy master smiles and says, yes, I will gladly fix your dolly. Starting to cry and clutching her dolly closer, she pleads, Mr. Toy Master, please, please, please fix my dolly. She's broken. The toy master again reaches for the doll, warmly smiles, and says, yes, I will fix your doll, but first you must let it go. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guest. How often are we like the little girl in this story with something broken in our lives? Not wanting to let it go, pleading to have our life fixed somehow, some way, by someone or something outside of us. Doubting we could be our own toy master, and not having the faith that it can be fixed. Or have you been more like the toy master, always there doing the best you could to fix the problems for others? For instance, several years back, I was a TSA airport security agent. One of those fun people that will pat you down and say, oh, no, 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 you can't take that. Well, we would have our meetings in the hallway. I had to be front and center so I could see and hear everything. And it never failed. Some lost soul would come barging past everyone else and ask me for directions. One day I turned to my supervisor. I said, do I have this flashing neon sign above my head that says, ask me? While laughing at me, she says, no, but you do have a look. And this look says, you're willing to help. Unbeknownst to me, I had been a toy master throughout my life for those I loved, and often strangers, helping them to fix their problems and find their way. Yet I'd always seen myself as the little girl pleading for help. I was always struggling and wondering what was wrong with me. Why wasn't there someone, a toy master, that could fix my life, that could fix me? And then one day, while I was helping to fix something for one of my sisters, and after spending several hours talking with her, reminding her to love herself, believe in herself, look at things clearly, and then let it go, I started listening to the words I was saying and the advice I was giving, and it was good. For the first time, I truly heard my own words. Of course, my immediate thought was, where did these wise words come from? I know, maybe I'm channeling some yogi or guru from the great beyond. No, not likely. And then it hit me like the toy master's hammer. Those were my words. My words from reading self-help books. My words from years of hard-earned experiences. And more importantly, my words filled with love and compassion from my heart. Words of wisdom that came from me. Evidently, I've learned far more than I realized. Yet I need to take my own advice. I have the ability to be my own toy master. I just have to let go of self-doubt, worry, and have faith in me. I have to practice what I preach and show myself love. We deserve love, kindness, and respect. And you know what? I do give good advice. And this time I listened. I've come to realize that there are going to be days when I am like this little girl. And that's okay. Yet in order to solve those problems and see them clearly, like her, I have to let them go. In my story, I am now my own toy master. My friends, I ask you, in your story, your life, are you more like the little girl? Or are you ready to be your own toy master? Contest chair.
At this time, thank you. At this time, we will honor a moment of silence to give our judges an opportunity to mark their ballots. I think the timer is signaling me that we are ready for our second speaker. Our second speaker is Kevin Giuliano, a brave man. A brave man. Kevin Giuliano.
Audio check, am I coming through okay?
Yes, you're fine.
Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. Tonight, we are going to go on a journey through time and space. We will be traveling to July 4th, 1972, viewing the events of the day through the eyes of 10-year-old Kevin Giuliano. Be traveling to a small town that's located somewhere in the Toastmaster zone. It's the 4th of July, the 4th of July. My mom and dad and me, we're gonna go down to the American Legion, get on a school bus, and go to the 4th of July parade. It's gonna be so much fun. There's singing and laughter on the bus. When we get there, my mom takes me to where we're gonna watch the parade. There's a lot of people at the parade. There's a million people here, but my mom tells me we have some of the best places to stand. We're right across from the reviewing stand. That's where the governor is gonna be. The governor, I don't know what the governor does, but it sounds like a very important job. My dad tells me what my important job is. Whenever an American flag comes down the parade route, I'm to stand, be quiet, put my hat over my heart to show respect for the brave men and women who serve our country so that we can have freedoms like a 4th of July parade. This is gonna be great. The first American flag is coming. And now a marching band, and they have a big bass drum. And there's one of those funny cars. It's a comfortable. I don't know if you've seen a comfortable. It doesn't have a roof, and when it rains, you get wet. But there's a sign. It says World War I veteran. Everyone starts cheering. My dad shouts out, "Thank you for your service." another American flag, and another marching band. And now World War II veterans. My dad is a World War II veteran, and he goes out and he shakes hands with all of his friends. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice to our country. Thank you for the support of America. Then another flag and another marching band. And now Korean veterans are coming. I go out with my dad and I shake their hands. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your service. This is so much fun. Another American flag. And another marching band. And then the parade stops. I don't know what happens. Some men come running down the road. They're coming, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming. People start to leave. My dad's friends from the American Legion, the people in the reviewing stand, even the governor. There's only a few families left. I don't know what's happening. And then I hear loud, angry voices. They're coming down the street. They're getting closer, and I can hear them. They're screaming, bring them home now. Bring our brothers home right now. And they're very, very mad. I don't know why. And as they get closer, I can see an American flag. But there's another flag. I've seen it on TV. It's the flag from South Vietnam. These are Vietnam veterans. And as the American flag goes by, and they're angry and yelling, my dad walks out and puts out his hand to the first young man and says, thank you for your service. The young man who is angry and yelling stops and shakes my dad's hand and says, you're welcome. My dad shakes other hands and they stop yelling. He says, thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice to our country. In fact, some of the young men, he even gives them a pat on the back. They're not mad or angry anymore. Some of them even wave to us and then they march off. Everyone comes back. The governor, the reviewing stand, all of my dad's friends in the American Legion. And you know what? The fire trucks are coming. They're really, really loud, but it's neat. And then they're gone and the parade is over. This has been the best parade that I've ever been to. It's so much fun. Now we're gonna go back on the bus and go to the American Legion. We get out back on the bus and we sit at the front of the bus. And the bus ride home is very different. It's quiet. There's no singing. There's no laughter. When we get back to the American Legion, my dad stands up and he talks to his friends. I don't recall the exact words that my dad used that day. I remember him saying that he was ashamed. I remember that he said we should have respect for the Vietnam veterans. When I look back, I'm amazed at the impact that just a couple of hours had at a 4th of July parade when I was 10 years old on my life. My dad, through a real world example, demonstrated the importance of standing up for one's principles. He taught me that sometimes doing the right thing can cost friends. We never again went to a 4th of July parade with the American Legion. I learned that doing the right thing can be hard. But the most important thing I learned that day from my dad was how to be a brave man. Contest master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Giuliano. At this time, we will observe a moment of silence. I think I have the signal from our timer to proceed with our third speaker. And that speaker is Dion Lewis. Hashtag goals scored. Hashtag goals scored. Dion Lewis.
As a kid, I believed that I can do, be, or have anything I ever wanted. And I'm pretty sure that many of you felt that way also. What if I told you that you could still do, be, or have anything you ever wanted if you did one small thing? Would you believe me? Not sure? Okay, let me explain. Your brain has two hemispheres, the right side and the left side. The right side is imaginative, the left side is logic-based. There are fibers that connect together to create electrical signals between the right and the left side of the hemisphere. Now, these fibers surround your brain, then it moves up and down the spinal column to every cell, bone, and fiber in your body towards your consciousness that operates from within, that transforms your thoughts into reality. Now, this will allow us to align our frequency to the life that we love to live. Does that make sense? Okay. Think of a goal or a vision that you would like to manifest right now. You have now activated the right side of your brain, which is imaginative side. But if you did this teeny-weeny little thing, you will activate the left side, which is logic-based. It is the left side that will send a signal to every cell in your body that says, ooh, I want this. And you'll get it. Now, when you do this one powerful thing, three things will happen. Number one, where your focus goes, your energy flows. Number two, you'll be motivated to take action behind that goal. And number three, your goal will become tangible. You could see it, feel it, taste it. Ooh, smell it. Here's what you do. Write down your vision. When you have a moment, take out a sheet of paper. I want you to write down 3 things that you wish to manifest within the next 7 days. Now, remember that every goal has to have a deadline. I want one of those goals to be financial. I will receive $25 unexpectedly. I will receive a phone call about an amazing job opportunity, whatever it is. I want you to take that sheet of paper and I want you to read it morning, noon, and night. I want you to believe it, see it, feel it, taste it, smell it. Watch what happens. In February of 2019, I was on a flight to San Francisco to a marketing workshop for my firm. And I decided to watch a YouTube video about manifesting your goals within 7 days. So I decided to try it. I wrote down 3 goals. Number 1, to relocate to Nashville before September of 2019. Number 2, to receive $500 unexpectedly. And number 3, to do something really big in Toastmasters. Now wait, I'm still new at Toastmasters. It's true enough that I won plenty of awards on the club level. I was the area director for last year, and prior to that, I was the vice president of public relations. But I wanted to do something bigger. So I got off the plane, I went to the hotel, nothing. The next day, nothing. But that night, I met a woman in the lobby by the name of Jen. She was really, really nice. So we decided to walk over to the meeting together. She was hired by my firm. So we had a great conversation, not a big deal. So during the break, I told her that I wanted to relocate to Nashville. So she asked me who my HR contact was. Well, I really didn't know who my contact was. So because she worked in HR, she decides to go and look on her laptop, and she came back and started laughing and said, guess what, Dee? I'm your HR contact. So I told her who my director was, and I told her who my director was, and just so happened he was standing less than 1 foot away from me. He turns around and says, oh, who called my name? What did I do? Well, I told him about our situation, and he turns around and says, hey, Dee, listen, you work for a global firm. You can live anywhere you want to go. So Jen, what do I need to do? They get on their iPhone, transfer complete. Oh, wow, right? So that night, I decided to fly back home, and the next day I went to the mailbox. I received a check for $500. Cha-ching! It was from it was a residual check that I had earned many years back. I used to be the voiceover for the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Mama with the radio. I couldn't believe it, right? So the 7th day, I received an email from the Toastmaster district president who asked me to be the Toastmaster for the international speech contest last year. Go scored. Now this year I decided to do something a little bit different. I wrote down not 1, not 200, but 300 goals that I wish to manifest by this time next year. You see, goals do not work unless you do. If you don't write down your goals, you will continue to wish for the rest of your life. But when you write them down, you will see them spring into life. And you'll have your words as proof. So, what are you going to do? If I were you, I'd take my paper and my pen and write. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lewis. At this time, we will observe a moment of silence so that our judges will have an opportunity to complete their forms. I see the signal from our timer. So we are ready to proceed. Our 4th speaker, Tania Latham, essential, essential, Tania Latham.
I'm ready. It's the end of the world as I know it. It's the end of my world as I know it. It's the end of my world as I know it. And I feel fine. Madam Contest Chair, I have to admit, I'm not so sure that I feel fine. Over the past few months, there's been a crisis that has hit us. And around the world, we're all seeing things change that we never imagined could be like this. COVID-19 has taken over our world, and it has changed what we view as normal. A few weeks ago, I found myself actually sinking into what was probably depression because I realized one simple thing: I was no longer in control. For those of you out there who don't know me, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tania, and I'm a control freak. I love to put things the way that I want them into the box that I need them to be in. But I lost that control. We found our world suddenly divided into what we could do and what we couldn't do. For the greater good, we wanted everyone to be safe. But our government started dividing our world into essential and non-essential, often by basis of just a job title. Now, according to the United States government, essential is critical to infrastructure. We would all agree that we want healthcare, that we need transportation, that we need our grocery supply chain to be solid. Those are definite essentials. But some of the other things that suddenly became non-essentials sent us into that tailspin, and we didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do with that lack of control. I have a great opportunity in that I was still essential according to my job title, and I've been able to work with some amazing small businesses. And as I was battling my own challenges of who I am and how I'm helping and where my control is, I listened to those small business owners. And the questions that they were answering suddenly became very real to me. I want to share those with you today because I have a feeling that your crisis may be similar to mine in ways. And if it's not the crisis we're in right now, it's the crisis we may be in at another time. The first question that I heard from so many of our business owners was that their customers were asking them, hey, do you still have such and such? From coffee to bread to paper products, we needed to know what was on the shelf. What is your asset? My friend John runs our local coffee shop, and it's very important that he keeps coffee beans rolling out. I'm the client who was asking him, hey, do you have coffee? You do not want to see me uncaffeinated, friends. But with looking at that asset that John still had to give out, he was meeting a need with what he had. The word asset comes from an old English word that meant to be enough. What do you have enough of? What do you have enough of that you can still share out there with those who need it? What's on your internal shelf that someone else can use? I found that I still had enough energy, that I had enough knowledge, I had enough passion to help my friends continue on their journeys. The next question that we kept hearing was, hey, when are you open? What's your availability? As businesses often had to narrow in to what they did best, they had to determine what was their availability to reach out and help. My friend Andrea runs our local hardware store, and Andrea found that her availability may be sliding in because of her staffing issues, but she could still serve people with curbside, with e-commerce, with ordering online. I found that I started looking at what am I open for? What do I have that I can give out? It may not be as much as I had before, but I'm still open to give out. You have something that you're open for. It may be something brand new, but you're open for it. The third question that all of my friends were hearing was, hey, what are you doing different now? What are you pivoting with? What's your adaptability? One of my friends owns a great food truck, best cheese sandwiches in town. She's no longer able to do that. She shifted completely and is now a mobile grocery store to help people get the foods that they weren't able to get. I found that I pivoted and was able to show you all and the whole world my extravagant personality through Zoom. I love to get information out. I love to be with people. This is how I can do it now. What is your adaptability? What are you changing in crisis? One of the things that we get the benefit of doing here is we can choose to live in the past and let the crisis define us, or we can redefine the crisis. So I want to encourage you, look at that word essential. Where the government defined it one way, let's look at it at being valuable in disruption. You, my friend, are valuable in disruption. Find your asset. Find your availability. Find your adaptability. I did. And where I once wasn't fine, I am now, because I realized that job titles don't define us. We do. We are essential. And it's the start of our world as we know it, and we feel fine. Madam Contest Chair.
Thank you, Toastmaster Latham. We will now observe a moment of silence. I see the timer signal. So we are ready for our fifth speaker. Our fifth speaker, Darrell Pace. Gold, gold, Darrell Pace.
There's gold waiting for you. Let's get it now. Last year, March, I was with my beautiful, quiet daughter, Olivia, in a room packed with people. A fellow Toastmaster, Gina, curly brown hair, warm smile, walked up, and I said, "Gina, meet my daughter, Olivia." Gina says to Olivia, "Have you heard your dad speak? He's pretty awesome." Moments later, the Toastmasters area contest began, and soon the contest chair was saying, "Next up, Darrell Pace." Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests, my talk was like a roller coaster ride with ups, downs, twists, and turns, and the crowd rode with me. The talk headed toward a crescendo where I said, "There were, and that next word I was supposed to say was like a helium balloon you accidentally let go of outside as a child. The more time that passed, the farther away from me it drifted. Dozens of seconds went by. You know how you can look at your audience to get a sense of how your talk's going? I glanced out and saw Gina looking like this. I looked away, and seconds turned to minutes of 100% pure concentrated, uncomfortable silence. I glanced at the audience again and saw my daughter, Olivia, doing this. As if to say, it's okay, Dad. I love you. I support you. You're bombing. And Gina lied. I thought, how do I get off this stage? Should I run out of the room crying? No, it's not an option. So I blurted out. Sometimes your talk goes the way of the dodo bird, and sat down, humiliated, with my confidence shattered. A fellow Toastmaster, kind of a Tom Selleck lookalike with a Southern accent, sat beside me. He said, "Hi, my name is Matt. I'm proud of the way you handle yourself." I said, "Huh? Yeah, if that'd been me, I would have run out of the room crying." Then Matt got serious. "You keep going, you hear? Your daughter will see you and she'll be inspired. And remember, your character isn't formed in your successes. Your character is forged in your failures." I thought, oh man, I sure built a lot of character today. But I wrote down what he said. Your character is forged in your failures. Have you ever been through an event that really hurt? The next day, the full weight of what happened hit me, and I asked out loud, why did that happen? But the answers didn't come. I called my mentor, Ted, and said, I forgot a word. I froze up, didn't recover. Ted said, I have some rehearsal techniques that'll help ensure you never forget words or freeze up. And I thought, that's great information to know before the contest. Ted's most important tip to me, never memorize a speech word for word, because if you do and you lose a word, you can lose your speech. And I thought, oh my gosh, I had memorized my speech word for word. So with that and other tips from Ted, a few months later, I entered the evaluation contest and I bombed. I got stuck on a word and I freaked out. I said something like, you did good. I evaluated like I was Porky the Pig. The only thing missing was for me to wrap it up with, and that's all, folks. Ted had given me more skill, but the ghost of my contest blunder still haunted me and caused my confidence to be shaken. Sometimes it is hard to get over a tough loss, isn't it? A few weeks later, I went to the area evaluation contest as an attendee. I walked into the room and a guy saw me and goes, "Ooh, from the contest." It was Tom Selleck lookalike, Matt. I said, "You approached me at the speech contest, didn't you?" "Sure did. Great to see you." "Dude, you ought to be rock solid now." I said, "Huh?" "Yeah, think about it. It doesn't get any worse than that, right?" "Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, you hit rock bottom and put the floor in." "Yeah. One good thing, though, only one way you can go from there, and that's up, right?" "Right." Then Matt said, "You know, I have a friend. All he thinks about is winning. He says anything other than first place is for losers. But I think he's got it all wrong." I do, because when you lose, you learn. When you lose, that's where the gold is, if you keep digging. I thought, my gosh, Matt's right. Losing gives you the opportunity to grow in skills and confidence and character. And that's gold you can have if you dig for it. I said, "Thanks, Matt. I appreciate your words." And I've been digging ever since. Speaking at Toastmasters, civic organizations, colleges, and a few weeks ago, I was in a crowded room with my daughter, Olivia. I gave a speech. I made it through. And Olivia gave me the best feedback, which was, she was inspired. You have been through loss and failure. You may have been through some you didn't even deserve, some that caused you to ask why, and that were hard to get over. Those are some of life's toughest challenges, and that's where the gold is. So if you lose a contest, a job, a relationship, a business, or anything else, your first reaction might be to run out of the room crying. But to get your gold, you keep going. You hear? Someone will see you and be inspired. And remember, your character isn't formed in your successes. Your character is forged in your failures. And that's gold. Now, go get yours, Madam Contest Chair.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pace. At this time, we will observe a moment of silence. Thank you. I've received the timer's signal, and we are about to proceed to my second favorite part of the International Speech Contest. But before we do, I want to applaud all of you for stopping your video so that there would be no distracting movements during the speeches. But right now, I want you to turn your video on, because we learned earlier today how to do virtual applause, and our host demonstrated it. So turn your video on so we can applaud all of our speakers who were absolutely awesome. Great work, everyone. So now, my second favorite part of the International Speech Contest, an opportunity to interview our speakers for the evening. So first up will be Dorie, if you will unmute yourself.
Hi.
Dorie, tell us what club you're representing and how long you've been a Toastmaster.
I am representing Harpeth View Toastmasters, and I have been in Harpeth View for 3 years now, I think. Three and a half years, yeah.
3.5 years and already participating in the International Speech Contest. That's great. So I really love collecting quotations. In fact, I love to use them in my speeches. And each of you shared a favorite quotation. The quotation you shared as one of your favorites was, "Nothing is impossible The word itself says, I'm possible. So some critics may say, oh yeah, really? So Dorie, tell us about something that you really used to think was impossible, but now you know it is possible.
Writing. I have always liked to write, and I never thought that any of my books would be published or anything to that effect. And I'm in the process of waiting for illustration on my first children's book that will be published.
Tell us about something.
And that's one of the things I never thought that would take place, but it actually is.
Someone needed to mute, so could you share that again?
Yeah. One of the things that I never thought would be possible is having a book published. I didn't think it would ever happen. And I am in the process of having my first children's book published. I'm waiting for the illustrations. And then once they come back, then it will be published and out there.
And what got you started writing? What got you started on that impossibility?
I've always enjoyed writing and writing stories about different things. And I like, to see different views. And then I had a little dog, and she was my life. And I wrote a story about her. And in fact, once I get this one done, I have a whole series that is about her, but to get through those without crying isn't easy. So I took one of my other things I like is dragons. I love dragons. And I wrote a book about dragons.
Okay, so it sounds like to accomplish the impossible, start with something you're passionate about. Thank you, Toastmaster Nolan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Toastmaster Giuliano, tell us what club you're representing tonight and how long you've been a Toastmaster. Okay, so it sounds like to accomplish the impossible. I think we still have some interference. Thank you, Toastmaster Nolan.
Kevin, be sure you stop the YouTube feed.
Toastmaster Giuliano, tell us what club you're representing tonight and how long you've been a Toastmaster. I think I'm the interference.
I'm a member of Monday Mumblers, club number 2976, and I've been a Toastmaster for about 5 years.
Great. Your quotation was, there are three kinds of people: those who can count and those who can't.
Okay, just a moment.
We need to be sure that Kevin has his YouTube muted and only in Zoom.
All right. So your quotation was, there are three kinds of people: those who can count and those who can't. What is that quotation meant to tell us about you or tell us about us?
I cannot hear you, Edna. So I will anticipate your questions. Monday Mumblers, 2976, been in Toastmasters for about 5 years. 3, yellow, sometimes and only on Wednesdays.
I think you did answer the question. What was
I'm assuming you're asking about my quote.
Yes. What was that quotation?
Two types of people.
Tell us about you.
There are three types of people: those who can count and those who can't count. It's always good to kind of throw a little curveball in there.
Can you hear me now?
I can, Edna. I'll answer for Kevin.
I think he may be having a little trouble with the sound. Thank you, Kevin. Dion Lewis, Toastmaster Dion Lewis. Tell us what club you're representing tonight and how long have you been a Toastmaster?
Hi, everyone. Hello, Toastmasters and guests. I have been a Toastmaster since January of 2017 from Toastmasters of Westfield in New Jersey. And I now represent Rivergate in Hendersonville. I think it's Hendersonville, Tennessee. I've only been here less than a year, so I'm trying to get my boundaries right.
All right. I know you will. So your quotation is, follow your dreams until your death. Tell us about a dream you're following and how is that going?
Well, my dream is to make those 300 things on my list become reality. This is very challenging because it took me 9 hours to do it, but I decided to discipline myself because I've been in New York for 20 years. And when you live in New York City, it does something to your brain because people there are always fast paced. They're always going forward. You know, I have failed so many times in New York, but I don't have time to stay there. So I have to keep going, keep going, keep going. And I have really big dreams. And I'm not talking about, well, I need to make $100 by the end of the month. No, I want to become a millionaire. I want to work for Tyler Perry. I want to be on television 5 days out the week. I am thinking huge. So what I'm doing right now, I'm doing a meditation morning, noon, and night. I'm doing a lot of networking throughout the industry because I used to work in the music publishing industry in New York City. And I'm talking to all kinds of people. I have my YouTube channel. I am doing everything it takes to ensure that I get at least 30% of these goals completed. 300 will be wonderful. But right now, at this moment, I'm working on 30%. And I think that as time goes on, if I keep my spirits up, stay focused, go where my focus is, I'll be just fine. So I'm going to keep going until I die.
I have no doubt that you're going to get through that list. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
So, Toastmaster Latham.
Hello.
Tell us what club you're representing and how long have you been a Toastmaster?
Thank you so much for the question, Madam Contest Chair. And hello, all Toastmasters out there. I have been in Toastmasters since July of 2017, and I represent the Morning Cup in Maryville, Tennessee.
All right. Your quotation was, even a small star shines in the darkness. Tell us about a time when either you or someone you know was that small star who got a chance to shine.
Thank you so much for that question. The quote actually came from an index card that my sweet mother left for me when I was in college. I had gone from a big fish in a small high school pond to a very small, tiny guppy in a very large college pond and had not yet found my place. My mama was the one who was shining at that moment when she left that index card for me that said, even a small star shines in the darkness. It was a reminder that no matter where we are or what we're doing, we have the ability to shine in someone's darkness. That card is now framed and sits on my nightstand as a reminder every single day that I get to shine in someone's darkness.
That is so wonderful. And what a wonderful gift from your mother.
It definitely was.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Now, Toastmaster Pace, tell us what club you're representing and how long you've been a Toastmaster.
I'm representing the Franklin Toastmasters. I've been a member for 6 years.
6 years. All right. Now, you had a couple of quotes. I'll choose one.
Okay.
You become what you think about most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what you've been thinking about most of the time and what are you becoming?
Recently, I've been thinking about this contest. That's probably dominated my thoughts. I have been thinking about how to best raise my kids. That's a dominant thought. And I've been thinking about how to make sure I don't get on my wife's nerves too much. Trying to make sure I'm a decent husband to my wife. So those are my dominating thoughts right now.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. So ordinarily, we'd be in the same room and each of you would get a great certificate of participation. And those are really important because they document the fact that you made it to the international speech contest for District 63. So we will be sure to make sure we get those certificates of participation to all of you. We are still waiting for our judges. So you were all so good. Our judges are having a really tough time selecting a winner. So while we are waiting for them, I'm going to ask our host if there are any announcements that maybe you've been sharing throughout the day that you could share now for people who are just joining us. I've actually been on most of the day, and I can tell you, it has been an awesome day. I've collected so many nuggets of wisdom. Our speakers have been wonderful. Will the YouTube recording be up so that other people can see the recording?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Great questions, all of them. YouTube is going to be, oh, wait, I'm getting a wave from Star Trek Galactic Center. What do you got, Bert?
Currently, I have two. I have Johnny Campbell's first speech, the business meeting, Carol Pransky's speech, Glenn Hughes' speech, Marie Cosgrove's speech, Johnny Campbell's second speech waiting to be cleared. I will put those links in the chat, and there's going to be more. So that's it.
All right, so what you're saying is you've broken up the speeches and put them on YouTube?
You are correct, sir.
Really?
I heard all of those speeches, and I can tell everyone on YouTube, you want to listen to every one of them.
Agreed. Kim Santan is back, Edna. I don't know if that's a signal for you or not.
Nope, it's not. I'm waiting on one further judge.
Fair enough.
Okay. So what do you know about the August conference? Are there any details yet?
There are, but I think that it should come from Stacy or Jean as opposed to me, as they have the answers, and I would just make something up.
Okay. Well,
Actually, Edna,
let's not make anything up tonight.
hey, Edna, this is Stacy.
Hey,
The
Stacy.
only answers that I have heard so far is that the Paris trip, like virtual meetings, in-person meetings everywhere, has been canceled. So we will not be going to Paris this year. They're actually moving that conference out. So if you want to go to Paris, that will be next year. And then the next year, they're moving Nashville out. So Nashville will be the year following that. And right now, they haven't made any announcements. They are supposed to come back and tell us how they plan to conduct the conference. It will, I'm assuming, most likely be online just like this, but we'll have to wait and see. As soon as that information's out, I'll let everybody know, because I know you'll want to watch the speech contest if nothing else. But they have some awesome speakers and lots of good educational sessions as well. So we'll get that information out as soon as we get it.
Thank you.
Now, Bert, I see you putting the links in the Zoom chat. Can we find those links somewhere else? Are you going to post those elsewhere, or those literally are on our YouTube channel? I haven't looked.
I believe Bert may have went back to, oh, there he is.
They're on my YouTube channel.
What, are you holding them hostage or something?
Yeah, sure. I need the views. I'm just finishing up another one, so it should be up in about 10 minutes.
That's awesome. So by the end of tonight, certainly by Monday morning, all the speeches will be on the District 63 YouTube site for us to watch, and they'll be on there forever. Good job. Thanks, Bert. Bert's done a great job. Spirit fingers, Bert. You've done fantastic, sir. Thank you so much.
I don't know why I'm so dark. I think it's raining outside. Any other announcements?
I ordered a single chicken and an egg off of Amazon Prime yesterday, so I'll let you know how that goes.
It would be delivered today, except there is a tornado watch in the Knoxville area, so most people may be taking shelter as we speak.
Okay.
I did get a chat message that someone was kicked off. I actually have my iPad here, so I thought if I get kicked off of my computer, I would try to log back on my iPad. I did get one message that said your internet is unstable, but so far, so good.
We're under tornado watch right now, so I've kept a watch over to the side on my phone just in case.
During our show today, during our fantastic conference, I got 4 calls regarding my vehicle warranty, and I forward him to all of you guys in case you need help with your vehicle warranty. You're welcome.
Curtis, can I ask you what you're wearing right now?
Well, it's a jacket. It's a color by number jacket. So you can actually, if you look really close, you can see a palm tree right here. And then there's the space shuttle. Welcome to the gun show.
And how many numbers are there? Maybe 3 numbers?
In what?
Just color by number. How many numbers would they be?
No, I'm up to 7.
Okay.
I'm almost a
all
full
right.
box of crayons.
Okay. All right
They
then.
wash out though, which is kind of nice because then you can keep wearing the jacket over and over again.
It's his
Perfect.
lucky contest jacket.
Yeah.
I've been with him in that jacket for the last year and a half now.
It's a nice jacket. I
It's
also
a
have one in black.
Jacket.
Yeah.
It is. It's just every time I see it, I wanna call you names like.
Can we mute Catherine? Who's the contest chair? Can we mute that woman?
Mute.
I got a big purple. I got a big purple one that I feel like the Joker when I wear it, and then everybody started calling me Barney, so I donated it to CARM, Knoxville Area Rescue Mission.
And I bought it last week for $5. It's a great deal. Great deal.
You paid more than I paid for it at Belk, my friend. So what else?
One of the things I've enjoyed today during the conference are the table topics. So impromptu right here, right now. While we've been on quarantine, think about something you're doing that you may want to continue doing even after everything opens again. So can anybody think of anything that you've had to do during the quarantine that you think you may continue to do even after the quarantine is lifted? Dia, unmute yourself. Great.
Okay. I started taking Spanish because I feel like most of my friends have Spanish backgrounds, I guess, because I lived so much in New York for the past 20 years. And I believe that there may come a time where Spanish may be the primary language in the United States. That's how I'm thinking. So why not get on the bandwagon right now and learn what I can? And after this whole virus is over, because this too shall pass, I will continue on Duolingo and will become a fluent speaker in Spanish.
Yay. I've been reading more. I enjoy actual paper books, so I've been reading more. I've got a couple of books on ADD that I'm having trouble finishing, but I'm looking forward to finishing those. Been reading a book about anti-gravity, which I simply can't put down. And yeah, I got a few more on the list that I hope to finish. Chris, come on, Chris. This is like my best stuff. What are you talking about? Man, what are you reading, Chris? Let me unmute you, brother. Tell me what you're doing.
I'm not reading anything that you're reading, that's for sure.
Well, that's too bad. You're missing out. You're missing out.
No, I tell you what I'm doing So I own my own exercise and fitness company. Every day right now, all three of my kids are home. They're 8, 5, and 2. So every day we go live on my business Facebook channel with a live workout for kids that are 10 and under that they can do with us.
No kidding.
Fantastic. It takes about 10 to 12 minutes. Parents are joining us. It's a great way for my kids to kind of get active also. It's fantastic. It's a blast. And I'm going to keep doing it while they go back to school next year, or I don't know, whenever they go back to school.
That's wonderful. How do we find it? What's the link?
Chris Gooden Fitness on Facebook.
Sweet. Chris
I'll put it in the chat.
Fitness. Put it in this chat. And Stephanie, if you don't mind grabbing that and sticking it over in YouTube as well, because we got about 100 guys and gals over there watching.
All right, Curtis and Edna, I am back. This is your chief judge. The results are in. They have been sent to Stacy and to Edna.
Edna, would you like to unmute for us?
Thanks to everybody for participating in our little impromptu table topics. I am going to go ahead and read the names of our contest winners tonight before my house is completely dark. I don't know what it is, but anyway, this is so exciting. And again, the length of time it took to come up with winners certainly attests to the fact that all 5 of our speakers were absolutely awesome. So let's give all 5 another shout out. And with that, I am happy to report, and I want the chief judge to make sure I get everything right. Happy to report that our 3rd place for tonight is Dion Lewis. Dion Lewis, 3rd place. Our 2nd place for the International Speech Contest is Toastmaster Kevin Giuliano. Let's hear it for Toastmaster Kevin Giuliano, who I don't think can hear, so he doesn't know he won 2nd place. And 1st place, and the Toastmaster who will represent us at the World Championship of Public Speaking is Toastmaster Darrell Pace. Let's hear it for Toastmaster Darrell Pace. And then another shout out for all 5 of our awesome speakers. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of our speakers. Let's do a shout out for all of our judges and other contest officials, everybody who helped in any way. That includes Stacy. Thank you. And with that, I will return control of the meeting to our host, Curtis Johnston.
Thank you, Edna. Nice job. Thanks for doing that. That was awesome stuff.
I absolutely loved it.
Very good, and very good speeches. That was the highest quality of all the speeches that I've heard in an hour. That's fantastic. Darrell, you had come to Knoxville at some point. Darrell Pace, you'd come to Knoxville at some point and delivered a speech to us, and you videoed it, and it was called Shomoto. Do you remember Shomoto?
Yes, I remember Shomoto.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. And we watched you then, and I thought that guy's going places. And then sure enough, here you are. So this doesn't surprise me a bit. Nice job, sir. I look forward to seeing you at the next level.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. Well, we've had an amazing day. It's been 12 hours jam-packed full of information. Johnny Campbell was our first speaker. He told us that the only constant is change, and that change is not about people, change is an event. And it's really not change, it's transition. So let's start using the term transition instead of change. We had our district meeting. We met our new district executive council, and they're amazing, talented people. And I look forward to a fantastic year with them. Carol Prahinsky gave us a great tips on successful club coaching, what it takes to have a good club coach, how to have a club to be receptive to what we're teaching them. And I'm looking forward to seeing, I wouldn't mind coaching a club next year myself. Glenn Hodges, the John Maxwell trained Glenn Hodges, told us to change our thinking, change our life. Fantastic. John Campbell then was back with his Win the Crowd speech, which gave us tips on how to be launching our speaking career. Here in Toastmasters, we're all speaking, but I got to tell you, speaking is just the beginning. And the idea is this is the proving ground, and we can move on from here. Plus, Johnny gets extra credit for the Gladiator quote. I love the movie Gladiator. As my friends will tell you, we always say it. Are you not entertained? Dr. Mel is great. Don't forget about your past, but don't let it hold you back from your future. And great guy, a lot of energy boiled up in a small package. It looked like he was about what, 5'7", 5'8", Tom Cruise size, but he was good stuff. And he spotted my Yoda here in the man cave, so I like him already. Marie Crossgrove gave us an incredible story about perseverance, which resonated with a lot of people. I'm looking forward to her book coming out. She was telling us about her book coming out. It was good. Joe Turner, the Memory Mojo guy. I had forgotten that he was speaking this evening, but now I won't forget him because he did a great job, and he's giving a full training next week. I think he said Tuesday. If you want to track him down, he gave us his contact info. You can track him down and go see his great training. And then, of course, we topped it off with this contest, which was awesome. Thank you all for sticking around to see it. It was great. If you total up the speakers that we heard, the material that we have now, the videos we have access to, there was what, like 6 different speakers we had today. You total that up at like $2,500 of speaking engagement. That's for someone who does math. But I can tell you that that's a lot of value for something that we just got for free, right? Hold up your money, send it to me. I'll give you that address now. We'll swap for toilet paper and flour. Anyway, it's on YouTube forever. You can go back and watch it, share it with your friends, invite people to Toastmasters. Now that we're all on Zoom, I've got friends who couldn't make it to Toastmasters meetings because the schedule didn't work. They were driving across town, because sometimes it takes 2.5 hours between driving the meeting and driving back. Invite your friends now to a Zoom meeting for Toastmasters so they can just see what it looks like. When I had first heard about Toastmasters, I thought it was a whole bunch of veterans sitting around talking about the war, sipping bourbon and smoking cigars. And obviously that's not what it is. So maybe people just need to see what it looks like. And I'll tell you that my home club has added one member during COVID because he was like, I've always wanted to look into it and I'm stuck at the house. I could use some social interaction. I'll check it out now. I can tell you more about that if you want to contact me. That'd be fantastic. So a quick call to action for everyone listening, and then I'll close us out. Schedule some time tomorrow to review what we've learned today. We've had 6 different speakers. We've all heard something different that we enjoyed. What I like may not be something somebody else likes, but there was so much of it. I took so many notes, there's so much of it. I have to go back and hear it again and review my notes. If you stand up tonight and go, well, that was fun. Oh, I can't stand up. I'm wearing my Batman PJs. If you stand up tonight after the video is turned off and you just say, well, that was fun, and you walk away, that's great. But what are you retaining? So my challenge to you is, before you stand up, look at your calendar, find out when you've got time to review this information. Maybe it's tomorrow, maybe it's Monday, Tuesday at the latest. If you wait until next weekend to look at this again, you may forget a lot of it, and you may have lost the emotional connection with what we've done today, which to me has been awesome. And now I'm mentally drained. I'm going to close us out with a positive quote from the late, great Jim Johnson, my friend, my mentor, who would say, Toastmasters will change your life forever. Thank you, my friends. Have a wonderful evening. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. See you next time.
Thank you.
One last
Curtis.
question, Curtis. Curtis,
Yes,
one
sir.
last question for you.
Sure.
When should we take action?
Right now.
Now,
Right now. You take that
now.
action now. You do it now.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys. Good job, everyone. Excellent work.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks for the help, sir.
Welcome.
Everybody did a great job.
Agreed.
So the second the meeting ends, I should be able to download. I know Bert got most of it, but I have it back.
All right. Well,